Hi and welcome to the training, Project Data Analytics. This is an advanced and highly unique Project Data Analytics training. You are already aware with the course content, so let's get started with the training. Project Data Analytics. What is data analytics? Every day we are doing analysis of the data. We are opening our P6 program, we are looking at the baseline dates, early dates, late dates, units, cost, earned value. We are analyzing the data and then we are reporting to the people. So this is called data analysis. So what is data analytics? Data analytics is simply the systematic computation for analysis of the data. Whatever we are doing, it should be in a system so that easily the computation can be done. So this is simply the data analytics. Examining the data set to draw conclusion. This is one of the purpose of data analytics, that there will be a lot of data in the project. So you want to examine the data and you want to conclude the data. This is the purpose of that. Extract unseen information from the data. There are many type of data in the project. There are many hidden information inside the project data. So you want to extract the unseen information from the data. One of the purpose of data analytics. Why we need data analytics in project? What is the reason we need data analytics? To convert data into information, analyze the data and forecast the events, get inside of the project and control the project. All computation in a systematic way. We need to understand that the systematic way is very important here. We are doing everyday data analysis, copy pasting data here and there, but we want to make an automated system so that all the things are in control in a confined environment, and we are consuming less time in data management and spending more time in data analysis. How we will perform data analytics in project? Understand the process of data handling. We need to understand that how data should be handled in the project. Understand the data source and data. This is extremely important thing. We need to understand the data, what is the data, and need to understand the data source. There can be numerous data sources for automated system. Data source can be a cloud-based, data source can be a local network, data source can be a website, data source can be a simple folder in your computer or any particular software. So we need to understand the data source. Also, we need to understand the data. What is data we are going to use with? The data, for example, can be of process industry, it can be of manufacturing industry, the data can be of financial analysis, data can be of accounts, sales, distribution, and also the project data. So we need to understand what type of data we are going to use. The second thing is structure the raw data. So once we understand the data, that our data is, for example, project data, and we know the data source, let's say the data source is P6, then we need to structure the data. Structuring means the data can be of any shape, any type. We want it to be modified as per our requirement. So we need to structure the raw data. Automate the process. So once we do the structuring, then we want to automate that process so that every time whenever something changes in the source, automatically structuring happens and the process is done automated. We do not need to do it again. Data modeling. So once the system is automated, we will be doing data modeling. Data modeling is the relationship between different tables. So we give the relationship to tables and call the data when required from one table to another table. This is called data modeling. Once the data modeling is done, then we need to design the PMS reports, performance measurement system report. We are talking about projects. So in projects, we need to control the project through performance measurement system. So we will design the reports of performance measurement system. Then analyze the reports. Once our system is ready, reports are ready, dashboards are ready, then simply we need to analyze the reports. So this is the process flow chart of every data which is converted from raw data or from source data into the reports. This is the flow every industry follows. So we need to understand where we stand in each step and where we will be doing this step. Analyze the report will be done in using BI tool, which is business intelligence tool. In our case, it will be Power BI. Design PMS reports will be done in using DAX and earned value management knowledge. We need to have earned value knowledge, and DAX is a language called data analysis expression. So this language will be used in Power BI as well. So we will be developing reports through these two parameters. Data modeling will be done inside Power BI. There are three types of tabs in Power BI: Reports tab, Data tab, and Relationship tab. So data modeling will be done in Relationship tab. We will be doing in Power BI. Power Query will automate the system for us. Whatever we have done so far until data structuring, so Power Query will automate the system. Query scripting. Query scripting is M language. Just like the DAX language, there is one more language. It is used in Power Query. So query scripting will do the structuring for us. We will give command to the Power Query, and Power Query will do all the things for us, and the command will be given through M language. Understand data and data source. P6 will be our data source and data is our project data. So this is a process flow chart which we need to understand that this will be going to happen every time, and we need to automate the system. So now we will go into further and see what is data warehouse and database. Concept of database and data warehouse in P6. What is database and data warehouse? Database and data warehouse both are systems that store the data, but they are different in purposes. Database store real-time information. For example, if you have installed P6 very freshly, there is no data, so that means there is nothing in database. So when you generate a project in P6 and you create WBS, you give you make activity codes, you make activities, you assign resource assignments and everything, then all the data instantly goes into database. So this is called real-time information. So the moment you generate the project, the same moment it goes into database. Database is designed to record the data, whereas data warehouse is designed to analyze the data. The only purpose for database is to record the data. Data warehouse. A data warehouse is a system that pulls together data from different sources within an organization for reporting and analysis purpose. For example, data can be placed in database in different compartments, different places, which may not be linking to each other. But data warehouse, what it does, it takes relevant data from different sources and put them together in one area so that user can understand the reports and analyze it. Data warehouse help business user to access the critical data from some sources all in one place. This is what data warehouse does. It takes data from database, a different type of data, it combines them and put in one place which user is required to analyze. Database are typically structured with a defined schema. They have their own schema. They are arranged in specific order. Data warehouse. A data warehouse exists on top of several databases and used for business intelligence. Here we need to understand that this is database. So once we generate the project, it goes into database. And this process is here, the red gears, they are ETL, extract, transform and load. So once the data is generated, it goes into database. The database throw the data into ETL. ETL happens instantly and it puts the data into data warehouse. In data warehouse, the schemas are already made, so they arrange the data as per the schema. So this schema then allows user to see the reports. So this is the concept of data warehouse, that it is different from database, and the purpose of data warehouse is to analyze the data. Database in P6. This is the coding of database, how data goes into database. Once you generate the project, then how it knows that where it needs to land. So this coding, which is done by the developers, it allows data to go into specific compartments of the database. So this is the, just to show that this is a coding which allows data to go into database. So this is typical database and data warehouse cycle of Primavera, that there are two types of database in P6, the EPPM, Enterprise Portfolio Project Management, and Primavera Unifier. We are mostly using this one. So what happens when you initiate the project, it goes into the database. From database, the ETL happens, extract, transform and load. It throws data into here, star populated. Star is a schema. So the data goes into data warehouse, which allows user here to see the report. Whatever we see in P6 is actually coming after the data warehouse. But the process is so simultaneously happening that the moment you initiate the project, initially it means instantly ETL happens, data goes here, and once the data is here, you are looking the data. So what it says, the Primavera data warehouse extract, transform and load schedule and cost data coming from Primavera P6 and Primavera Unifier. It is available in standalone purpose. So the point is that it takes data, cost and schedule related data, and allow user to understand the data. This is the page which tells that what data warehouse actually does. Several physical star schema database model are included out of the box. So P6 is telling that they are using a star schema. We will understand that in detail. What are these schemas? You can utilize these tables as set of fact and dimension. We will understand what is fact and dimension. To generate pivot table reports, we are aware of what are pivot tables. So basically the purpose of data warehouse, which is a star schema, is to develop the table reports and analysis and all these things. ETL process of Primavera data warehouse operate as parallel processing routine. So that means whenever things happen in database, ETL happens in routine, in instant, and it allows, see here what it says, allows much greater throughput and faster execution time. So immediately data goes into data warehouse. Key benefits: discover hidden trends by enabling business user to analyze project data. You can extract the hidden trends inside that. Access calculated data such as schedule and cost performance metrics. We can use these type of information from data warehouse inside P6 and perform advanced business analytics and project and portfolio data. So we can do project and portfolio level data through data warehouse. So what is a schema? Anything that is arranged and structured in any form or shape is a schema. Simply, this is the simplest definition of a schema. Types of schema in data warehouse: star schema, snowflake schema, and galaxy schema. So what is a star schema? Star schema is simply an arrangement of tables where we have one fact table and multiple dimension tables. So what is fact table? Fact table has at least one column of unique values. That means it must have at least one column where the values are not repeating. Unique values are called primary keys. It's very important to understand because this concept will be used quite oftenly when we are doing data modeling. So the unique values which are not repeating, they are called primary keys. Primary keys make relationship with the foreign keys. So we need to understand what is foreign key. Dim table, which is also called the dimension table. Dim table has one column of foreign key. Okay. Foreign keys are repetition of primary key. So that means if the primary keys are repeating, they are in the dimension table, not in the fact table. Foreign and primary keys make relationship to each other. So now we need to understand how it is working in a star schema. In a star schema, we have at least one fact table, we know that, and there can be multiple dimension tables. There is no limit to that. So fact and dimension table are connected to each other through primary and foreign keys. So what is primary key? Any column which is having so many rows inside below this, means below the column header, and the values are not repeating, so it is called primary key. And if the same thing goes into somewhere, we don't know it is dimension table, if the same column is going in some other table and start repeating, so it will become the dimension table and the primary key will become the foreign key. So this is very important to understand here, that foreign keys are the repetition of primary key. So if it was here, so it is in a fact table and it is a primary key. If the same item or same number of things go into another table and start repeating itself, so they become dimension table and foreign keys. So dimension table and fact tables are connected through primary and foreign keys. So this is the concept here. So what is snowflake schema? In snowflake schema, the concept is quite similar, but only little addition, that one fact table is connected to one dimension table and the dimension table is further connected to another dimension table. So that's make us sense like snowflake. So how it is working? This is dimension table. So by definition, we know that there must be a column which is repeating or which is having the repetitive value. Similarly here, there must be a column which is having the values which are repeating. So foreign key and the foreign key are connecting. So this relation will be many to many. Okay. One of the relation which is between fact and dimension is one to many, because in fact table we know that primary key is a key which is not repeating, so it is a unique. So one to many, because in dimension table the same primary key is now repeating, so one to many, but in dimension and dimension both are repeating, so many to many. So this is one of the type of relationship, one to many, and it can be one to one if there is another table. So it can be one to one, one to many, and many to many. So this is snowflake. What is galaxy schema? In galaxy schema, we have at least 2 fact table and they are connected to different dimension tables. So you can say if there are more than one star in your system, so it becomes a galaxy, just like a simple scientific fact. In our solar system, we have one star, simple, and if we go beyond that, so it makes galaxy. So 2 star schemas are usually the galaxy. So how it is happening here? One fact table is connected with primary to foreign key. Similarly, another fact table is connecting through primary to foreign, so that becomes the galaxy schema simply. So now I think we have learned the type of schemas here. We will see now in P6, understand the data and understand the schema in data warehouse, that how data is arranged in P6. So let's move to the part 2.